Yes, Abba, Father. The word Abba seems to be understood as the dearest, most personal, loving relationship with the Father. Whereas the word we use in sort of classical Christianity is Father, and has connotations of a Victorian association, which is not particularly good, of course, of this world. Strictness, distance, perhaps coldness, perhaps imposition, perhaps stern, perhaps judgmental. And these associations have come into Christianity, and I think wrecked it. I don't know what you think, what your experience is. It depends what your experience of Christianity is, perhaps. And if we use the term dad, which I do and have done for so many recordings, it's to try to get nearer to, I think, the concept of Abba. But it seems so unusual as not to trigger in the listener the goodness that is in a good dad, their notion of a good dad. Even if it's not their experience, their dad may not have been too good in this regard, being close and loving. I was going to say, I don't mean in a feminine way, I mean in a masculine way. But that would, I think, destroy what I'm trying to get at here, that the true relationship of friendship, if you like, is neither male nor female. We've seen it as dominated by the gender role in if you like the phrase, it's the fallen world. I don't like that really, that phrase. I think, this world, of this world that we are in as a child, this sequence of events. But perhaps we do need to use the word Abba, in that it would give to us. I was going to say facilitate. Why use such a complicated word? Give to us anyway. The strength of the importance of the close relationship. I almost want to say intimate, but that's got bad associations, that word in my mind. Close is the best I can do. A relationship that's, well, perhaps in truth it's beyond words, given we're children. And Abba signifies that. It's a word that most modern people wouldn't know. At the most they would associate it with a song group called ABBA, from back in the 70s, I suppose, I'm not sure, of the last century. So perhaps it's very good to use that word, but perhaps it isn't, because the word dad does give us the message of the relationship that the Jesus story is putting over. In particular, if we can take on board, we're thinking of a perfect God. He's going to be all-powerful and all-loving. I suspect in our values. Is there anyone who would argue otherwise? That it's not right to be all loving? You know, there's some forms of life we should not love and be out there stamping out, killing. Sounds like going down the wrong street, doesn't it? Doesn't sound good. It may be a pragmatic decision that we do such. And people use this when they go to war, don't they? They say, well, if we don't wipe out these people, this enemy, they're going to wipe us out. That can't be good, you know. We're supposed to be here and protecting and preserving our lives. And perhaps that does mean killing life that would otherwise destroy us. It's not quite so clear when one thinks of it like that, is it? You know, I want in my heart to help and bless all life. But what happens where that life is a menace to us? Well, we need to keep our distance, and that may necessitate forcing them to keep their distance, or even the ultimate such, which is killing them. War. If we were thinking of one set of people to another and one nation to another. And that's just horrific. We don't like this situation. We certainly don't like it as a necessity in heavenly godly living. You know, I'm not taking war to heaven with me, am I? Is heaven at war against all the rest of creation that's not mature and in heaven yet? No way. Rest of creation, are, in as far as they are life, they are children of God. For he's the God of the living, not the dead. All live unto him. So pragmatism aside, in heaven, no, my values value all life. And heaven keeps earth, if you like, this world, at arm's length, in that we're in a playpen. We can't leap into the greater expanse of heaven that's there. We're in this world. For a reason. And as I've said, I think that reason is to give us an uncertainty that gives us a freedom that allows us to experience what will give us an assurance and the harmony, I was going to say, harmonious values for our eternal peace of mind, glory and goodness in heaven with our Heavenly Father and all the heavenly host. Where was I? I'll listen to this again. Hang on a minute.